In today's video, I'm reviewing the Base iTools S1 safety trainer. Now these are the safety trainers that I've been wearing whilst I'm gardening professionally here in the UK, and I've been wearing them since about April of this year. In this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on them, talk through the features, some of the good and some of the bad, and hopefully it'll help you decide whether they're the trainer for you or not. I will leave a link to these in the description, and I'll add the fact sheet as well, so you can check out all of the details at your leisure. They cost about £60 to £70 here in the UK, depending on where you get hold of them. They're available in sizes from 2 to 13 and weigh about 580 grams for a size 8, which these are. They're a full metal-free construction, so they have a sort of plastic toe cap, which is an extra thin toe cap designed to give you extra space for your toes. You've also got a fabric punch protection in there as well. The upper is a suede leather, and you have inside you have a smell stop liner as well to keep your feet fresh. The outsole is a own brand outsole, but is designed to be super thin, which allows it to be really flexible. And for outdoor users like me, I appreciate that there's some decent sized lugs and grip on there, so it's good for muddy conditions as well. The insole is comfortable and has the air channels and is designed to help pump air through the shoe to keep it ventilated. The shoe also fits slightly wider than conventional shoes, as it has a midpoint of 10.5 and for larger sizes a midpoint of 11.5, which is just a bit more than your standard width for shoes, which gives a little bit more space for wider fitting feet, or just general feet in fact. So they're the main details, but if you want any more details, as I say, there's a link in the description for you. The thing that really drew me to these shoes and base shoes in general was that slightly wider fit. The extra width is much appreciated, and you do notice it. They feel a lot better, particularly on the sort of midpoint of the shoe. Allows the foot to spread that little bit more. Particularly if you do have wider fitting feet, then worth checking out base shoes, because all of them in their range come with this wider fitting as standard. The toe box is still a little bit tight and is certainly not what you would describe as foot shaped, but no shoe is, but it's plenty big enough and is absolutely fine. Another good point is how well built they are. Now, this is something that I've been really impressed by. A lot of shoes, particularly the safety trainers, tend to be a little bit flimsy and don't last very long, frankly. But these so far have been really stood up well. There is a bit of wear on the outsole, but nothing major. And the suede is a little bit worn where it's been folding, but again, nothing major, no sign of any cracks or anything. And particularly, something I've particularly noticed, because it's a rarity in shoes that I've had recently, is the upper material and the sole unit are still stuck together. Now, most people wouldn't care about this. I get really annoyed by this because it shows that the shoe's just not been made properly in the other shoes cases, and it allows water to get in, but it also means that eventually the upper and the sole unit just separate, which renders the shoe useless. So the fact that this is still stuck together is a really good thing, and I wish more shoes were built properly, which these apparently are. So the comfort of the shoe is good without being exceptional, I should add. They do feel a little bit firm, but compared to most safety shoes, it's still good to excellent. They don't feel like a modern day trainer that's super soft and springy, but as I say, compared to most safety boots, they still feel very comfortable. And even though they've got that super thin sole unit, that still provides enough comfort and support. But also, they do flex really well. Considering they're quite a chunky shoe that doesn't feel like it should flex this well, they do really flex very well, which is always appreciated, as a good shoe should be able to flex but also provide a good bit of support and stiffness. So they provide a good balance between the two. Now, there are a few things that I don't like about them, or aren't so good, I should say. Now, the weight of them is on the higher side than I prefer. Recently, I've been trying to get shoes that are about sort of 400, in that 400 range. So they are on the heavy side, more like a walking boot. But once you get them on your feet, you don't really notice the extra weight, but they are heavier than I'd like. They also do run a little bit hot. Again, this is really to do with the materials. Obviously the suede, it does breathe a little bit, but not as much as say a mesh trainer would do. So your feet do tend to get a little bit hot, particularly in the toe area. It does have these vents on the side and the pump system with the insole, but to be honest, I've not noticed that hugely. You do notice the vents a little bit, but it does tend to get a bit stuffy, particularly when it's warm, but it does dry out quite quickly if it does get wet. So it's obviously is working if better suited to slightly cooler conditions. Spring and autumn would probably be best suited for it. And that would also suit the sort of constructions of them. They're not waterproof, but that suede leather does give far more protection to water than say a mesh shoe would do. So you can walk through grass and stuff without getting completely drenched feet without it being quote unquote waterproof. So overall, I've been pretty impressed by the shoes. They are comfortable, surprisingly flexible, and better suited than pretty much any other safety trainer that I've tried for outside use, particularly down to that extra grip. So I will leave a link to these in the description. As I say, worth checking out base shoes in general if you prefer a shoe that's a little bit wider, and all of those links will be in the description so you can check them out there. If you have any comments or questions about the shoes, just drop them in the comment section and I'll get back to you. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing for more videos like this. And that just needs to say, thanks again for watching. Bye for now.